Hello and welcome to SteveKnows, where we aim to become a know-it-all, and today we are going to learn and inspire some VR fun with a bunch of our favourite gaming classics that you could have played on your N64 all the way to the modern day, but this time you can enjoy them in virtual reality, which as a VR lover is the best way to play. Some of these games you can play native on your Quest, some you will need a gaming PC. So this is only part 1, so please comment any games I do not cover to make sure I don't miss any in the next video. So let's go over flat screen classics that we can play in VR. Starting off with the most obvious game that can be played in VR, Grand Theft Auto V. This is a modification to the original title by Luke Ross, and he has let this one live for free on GitHub. Some of you may have tried this recently and it didn't work due to a script hook versioning discrepancy, but there is a fix for this on the GitHub, so if you did run into that in the past, go check that out. The game does not support full motion control though, so a controller will be needed to play this game, and you will be able to enjoy GTA with a godlike view, so it's third person or first person, all in 3D. You can enjoy this game from start to finish in virtual reality, riding a motorcycle, robbing a car, holding up a convenience store, doing what GTA lets you do best. Steam has deals on this game all of the time, so you can grab it for a great price, much cheaper than some of the huge virtual reality titles out there. I think this one is worth it. While we're on the topic of Luke Ross, his latest release is not a Rockstar title like we've been used to seeing from him, but this one is a From Software record-breaking hitter, likely Game of the Year, and it's only released in Q1, it's Elden Ring. This again is not motion controlled, so you will need a joypad to enjoy this title, but you'll get to experience the game with a first person perspective, and taking in the genuinely stunning world, and one of the largest worlds I've ever played, is beautiful. The game's style and the brutality of its combat does make this a really tough game to enjoy in VR though. It's definitely one to try if you already own the game, but I would not buy this game just for this mod. I also don't recommend this if you're new to VR, as when you're rolling around you'll drop to the floor rather quickly, textures like to pop in and out and get mishy-mashy as you're trying to attack an enemy, and I think that's a technical term, mishy-mash. The mod though does have a tourist mode, where NPCs and enemies will completely ignore you, allowing you to just explore the world and take in the beautiful views. Perhaps find some discoverables while you're at it. So I do recommend completing the game first, then enjoy it in all its glory in virtual reality. So this is available through Luke's Patreon with tons of other mods as well, so I'll link that down below. Time to give PreyDog some credit because they have implemented fully motion-controlled Resident Evil remakes. I'm putting 2 and 3 together in this list because they are pretty much the same game in terms of the mechanics and the style, except Resident Evil 2 is slower paced and more about puzzles, and you can play as Leon. Resident Evil 3 you will play as Jill Valentine, but this is more heavily action-focused and it's a much shorter game. So depending on what your style is, choose either title to enjoy first. The RE framework is available on GitHub for you to download and install this modification. Resident Evil is one of my favourite franchises of all time, and to play Resident Evil 2 as Leon and see the disgusting but ever so beautiful zombies in 3D, as if I was actually in Raccoon City Police Station, or go toe to toe with the legendary Nemesis, it was a dream come true. This game is brilliant in VR. Staying on PreyDog's modifications, this time it's Devil May Cry 5, an action-packed slasher from Capcom, which fun fact started life off as what was going to be Resident Evil 4. This title in VR has a godlike view, so you will watch the world unfold in front of you, which is a slightly different take to a VR experience, but it is so stunning and incredibly sinister, and arguably one of the best installments of this franchise, as you can play as Dante, Nero, and that guy from the Black Veil Brides. Just kidding. His name is V. The menu in the UI is not the best though for this modification. Navigating it in virtual reality definitely needs some tweaks because sometimes the menus are off to the side, and a bit of guesswork is required. But a brilliant game to see in all its glory in front of you as you're slashing away at all of these demons. The different view that I just mentioned works really well with the core gameplay of this title, and you can play sitting down, which is always handy. Now let's move on to some games you can play natively on the Quest platform. You do not need a gaming PC for these games. A big shout out to Dr. Beef and Bumza for these experiences, as they offer this experience for free, and they are incredible works of art, these ports. So the first one is Doom, the original Doom, the retro classic co-created by one of the legends in the VR space, John Carmack, which is a nice little full circle, don't you think? The game can be enjoyed for free by sideloading the Quest Z launcher via SideQuest. This launcher also lets you apply classic mods for more gore, better weapons, better texture packs, and even different soundtracks, or NPC skins. You can change them to Alien, these stunning little xenomorphs. You will play in 60OF, and aiming in this one is completely free. Not like the original where you can literally only move left or right. Here you can move your arm any which way you would like and aim like a modern shooter. But it keeps that classic gory, heavy metal, brutal Doom style, but brings it to the modern day in VR. This game is phenomenal. Another classic title that marks the beginning of a franchise that leads us to the greatest VR campaign yet. This one is Half-Life, named after radioactivity levels decaying and dropping by half over time, which is a fun fact if you didn't know. The entire game can be played on your Quest in virtual reality in 6DOF, and it plays beautifully. You just need to install the Lambda application on SideQuest and purchase the game on Steam, which is very, very cheap. Sometimes it's on sale too, and you can copy over the files that you've just downloaded to the headset. There is even a launcher app which allows you to adjust the performance settings to get peak visuals from the Quest 2, because this was available on the Quest 1. The start of the game is a slow burner, but do push through for one of the greatest games of its era. And it almost feels like it's the grandfather of VR due to it being tied to Valve and Half-Life Alyx. And I can't believe this came out in 1998. Some of you were not even born who are watching this. This time we're talking about some of our favourite games inside other games, and my goodness, they provide you bang for your buck. So starting with Half-Life Alyx, it has a workshop section on Steam, and here lives Buried Treasure, one of the in-game mods that requires you to do nothing except click subscribe, not just on my channel, but on the add-on itself in Steam, and it will do everything for you. You just need to boot up the game and enjoy. So this one is BioShock Return to Rapture. Although this is not an exact mod of BioShock, it has taken the series and combined it with Half-Life into something special for fans of the franchise. And yes, there still is a Big Daddy. A game I played far too much of growing up was Call of Duty Zombies, and more specifically, Nuketown Zombies. The game Pavlov does have a workshop hidden section as well, full of gems, so I do recommend checking that out because they're free as well if you own the original game, and that includes the original World at War Zombies experience. But this one, Nuketown, is my favourite. You do have a mystery box to get randomly generated weapons, just like you would expect. You'll gain points to unlock doors and buy perks, eventually leading to the lovely Pack-a-Punch, which turns your weapon into this laser killing machine. The game also supports multiplayer, so you and 3 other friends can team up and try for the longest survival, just like the good old days. Actually, I take that back, VR wasn't around then. This title is full of nostalgia and brings one of the most classic flat screen experiences into the modern day, into virtual reality, and it's crazy fun. It's just a little harder due to the realistic reloading mechanics of Pavlov and the slower movement, because you can't sprint whilst you're aiming in this game. The game that we used to call the Mirror's Edge zombie experience, Dying Light, a pretty great flat screen title with a big world and a story-driven narrative set in a post-apocalyptic world. The game actually has a secret VR mode, so this isn't a modification, but actually a change to the configuration of the game, so this already exists. But it doesn't support full motion control, it will be a joypad, so keyboard and mouse or an Xbox controller or a DualShock. To activate the game's VR mode, you do need to buy the game, install it on Steam, and then boot it up before you go and adjust some settings. I will link a video down below in the description that shows you how to do this, but it only works as far as I know with Oculus headsets as well, so if you own a Valve Index or a Vive, it may not work, I can't confirm that. When you play this in VR, the HUD does become fixed, such as the map and your health. It stays fixed inside of your view, but the world beyond that is incredibly immersive and surrounds you in this gory adventure. A game that I was really excited for, but was sadly disappointed because it's like a PlayStation VR experience ported over onto the PC, with some additional tweaks. Hitman 3, although it feels limited for a virtual reality veteran, the game does actually offer some of the most hilarious moments I've experienced whilst playing virtual reality. It allows you to get really immersed and take on a role as Agent 47. Moments like choking this poor stranger felt way too sadistic, but punching this insurance broker, far too satisfying. I do believe this game is on Xbox Game Pass, and this on PC allows you to enjoy the VR version of the title, so you can enjoy this for a monthly subscription of around £6. The game does look pretty decent, not as good as you would hope, but it doesn't look too bad, and the controls feel pretty weird. But as I said, it is so much fun. It's like a playground, but for hitmen. Or hit women. No. So that's it for this list today. I do have many more games around this actually, about 20, which is more than enough for another video or two, so please subscribe so you can find out what else you can play and experience, bringing classic flat screen games into VR. Also, comment any games you would like to see in the next list, so hopefully I don't miss any out that you think deserve to be there. Hopefully I will see you next time. Happy gaming, guys. Good day!